Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about something real. Let's talk about young mothers in America. Women who are underestimated, judged, and sometimes even written off before they've had a chance to prove themselves. But let me tell you something. Young mothers are warriors. They are fighters. They carry the weight of responsibility on their shoulders and still push forward. They don't have time for excuses. They have a child depending on them. And today I want to talk about 5 key points, 5 truths about young mothers that we all need to recognize. Life doesn't come with a playbook, and for young mothers, the challenges are doubled. They face financial struggles, lack of support, and limited education opportunities, all while being responsible for the well-being of another human being. While many of their peers are still discovering who they are and what they want out of life, young mothers are forced to grow up fast. They don't get the luxury of carefree youth. They are thrown into adulthood before most people their age even know what true responsibility means. Every decision they make carries weight. Every step they take is about more than just themselves. But do they quit? No. They keep going. They wake up earlier than most, work harder than many, and sacrifice more than people twice their age. They don't have the option of giving up because there's a child looking up to them, depending on them. They fight for their future, not just for themselves, but for their baby. They may struggle, they may fall, but they get back up every single time because quitting is not an option. Here's what I mean by the option. When the nig gets hit by the subway, and you say, let's roll with it. That's not weakness, that's strength. Strength is pushing through exhaustion after a long night of rocking a crying baby to sleep, only to wake up at dawn to attend school or head to work. Strength is juggling multiple jobs, college classes, and parental responsibilities with little to no help. Strength is standing in line at a grocery store, calculating every dollar spent because every cent matters when there's another mouth to feed. Strength is wiping away tears of frustration and exhaustion, but refusing to let their child see them break. Society often overlooks this strength. Instead of offering support, it places judgment. People see a young mother and assume she has failed, that she has thrown her future away. They whisper, they criticize, they doubt her abilities. But what they don't see are the sleepless nights spent studying while her baby sleeps, the sacrifices she makes to ensure her child has more than she did, and the determination in her eyes as she pushes forward despite the obstacles stacked against her. It's easy to judge from the outside, but it takes true understanding to see the resilience within. Young mothers don't just survive. They adapt, they learn, they grow. They develop patience, problem-solving skills, and an unshakable will to succeed. They don't have the option to wait for the perfect moment, so they make the most out of the moments they have. They know that the world won't hand them anything, so they work twice as hard to earn everything. And despite the struggles, despite the hardships, they love fiercely. They may not have planned for motherhood at such a young age, but that does not mean they are not incredible mothers. They cherish the small moments, the first steps, the laughter, the hugs that remind them why they keep pushing forward. They are not just young mothers, they are role models, fighters, and examples of what it means to persevere in the face of adversity. They may not have a playbook to follow, but they write their own story, and in that story, they are not victims of their circumstances. They are warriors who refuse to be defeated. You know how the world works. People are quick to judge. She ruined her future. She won't make it. The whispers, the looks, the stigma. It's real. People see a young mother and immediately assume she has failed, that her life is over, that she has no future beyond struggle and regret. They don't ask about her dreams, her ambitions, or the fire in her heart. They don't see her late nights studying after putting her baby to sleep, or the long hours she works to provide for her child. They don't acknowledge the battles she fights every single day. But let me tell you something. Young mothers don't need your pity, they need your respect. Because while the world doubts them, they're out here breaking stereotypes, getting degrees, building careers, raising amazing kids, and proving that a mistake doesn't define a destiny. Motherhood at a young age doesn't mean the end of the road. It means the start of a new journey, one filled with challenges, yes, but also with resilience, strength, and a determination that most people never have to summon. People love to assume that a young mother will be stuck in a cycle of struggle forever, but they fail to see how fiercely she fights to rise above the expectations set against her. She is not sitting around feeling sorry for herself. She is figuring it out, day by day, step by step. She is learning how to balance responsibilities that many adults still struggle with. She is finding ways to make things work, whether it's working extra shifts, taking night classes, or leaning on the few people who believe in her. She is not giving up because she knows that her child is watching, learning from her strength, and depending on her to create a better future. The truth is, young mothers develop skills that many people take years to master. They become experts at time management, balancing school, work, and childcare all at once. They learn patience, resilience, and problem solving because every single day brings new challenges. They become financially responsible faster than most, budgeting every dollar, making sacrifices, and prioritizing their child's needs over their own. They don't just grow up, they transform into strong, independent women who refuse to let society's judgment dictate their future. And let's talk about their children. People assume that because a mother is young, her child will suffer, but what they don't see is the love, the dedication, the unwavering commitment to giving that child everything they possibly can. A young mother's love is fierce. She knows what it's like to be doubted, so she instills confidence in her child. She knows what struggle looks like, so she works tirelessly to ensure her child has better opportunities. The obstacles, which are actually our own faults, diminish our child's joy. She knows the pain of judgment, so she raises her child to be kind, compassionate, and strong. So next time you see a young mother, don't judge her. Don't assume you know her story. Instead, recognize her strength. See her determination. Respect her hustle. Because she is not just surviving, she is thriving. She is proving every single day that she is more than the labels society places on her. She is a fighter, a provider, a leader, and most of all, a mother who refuses to let the world define her or her child's future. Some people spend years searching for purpose, discipline, and drive. They wander through life trying to find their passion, struggling to stay motivated, and learning responsibility at their own pace. But young mothers, they don't have the luxury of time. They don't get to ease into adulthood or figure things out slowly. The moment they bring a child into the world, they are forced to grow in ways most people never have to. They find purpose overnight. They don't just think about the future, they build it. Every decision, every sacrifice, every sleepless night is dedicated to creating a better life for their child. They become masters of multitasking, experts in problem solving, and champions of resilience. They juggle work, education, childcare, and personal growth, often with little to no help. They manage tight schedules, stretch every dollar, and make impossible choices, all while ensuring their child feels safe, loved, and cared for. It's not easy. It's exhausting, overwhelming, and sometimes feels like an uphill battle, but they push through because giving up is never an option. They are driven by something greater than themselves, the need to provide, protect, and build a future for their child. While others are still figuring out life, young mothers are already living it on the hardest difficulty level. They're balancing jobs, school, and parenthood, all while navigating the emotional and physical demands of raising a child. They wake up early to feed their baby, rush to work or class, come home to cook, clean, and care for their child, and somehow still find time to study or plan for the future. Their days are long, their responsibilities endless, but they keep going. They learn patience because children demand it. They understand sacrifice because their own needs come second, and they embody unconditional love because no matter how hard it gets, their child remains their greatest motivation. That kind of growth, that kind of strength, you can't teach that in a classroom. No textbook can prepare someone for the lessons a young mother learns through experience. No lecture can instill the resilience that comes from facing judgment, financial hardship, and emotional exhaustion while still standing tall. No degree can match the level of responsibility they take on every single day. Life itself becomes their teacher, shaping them into individuals who know what it means to fight for something bigger than themselves. People often underestimate young mothers, assuming they are doomed to a life of struggle. But what they fail to see is the transformation happening before their eyes. These women develop leadership skills, time management abilities, and an unshakable work ethic. They don't just survive, they adapt, they grow, and they rise above the challenges thrown at them. They learn to navigate obstacles with grace and determination, proving that they are far more capable than the world gives them credit for. And while the road is tough, the reward is greater. They watch their child grow, knowing that every sacrifice was worth it. They push forward, knowing they are setting an example of strength, perseverance, and love. They prove time and time again that being a young mother does not mean failure. It means rising to the challenge and showing the world that they are stronger than anyone ever expected. Let's not ignore this. The pressure is heavy. The anxiety, the stress, the fear of failing their child, it's overwhelming. No matter how strong someone is, there comes a point where the weight becomes too much to carry alone. For young mothers, that burden is even heavier. Every decision they make is magnified by the fear that it will affect their child's future. They question their choices, doubt their abilities, and feel the constant pull between their responsibilities as a mother and their desire to fulfill their personal dreams. The anxiety of making the wrong decision, the stress of not having enough time, and the fear of not doing enough for their child are like a constant shadow following them every step of the way. Postpartum depression is real. It's not just a passing phase or something that will go away on its own. It's a deep, emotional struggle that can make even the most loving mother feel isolated, helpless, and disconnected from herself and her baby. The physical and emotional toll of childbirth, combined with the overwhelming new responsibilities of motherhood, can leave young mothers feeling drained and defeated. But it's not just postpartum depression. Loneliness is real. Despite being surrounded by the constant demands of a baby, many young mothers feel isolated, as though they're the only ones facing such challenges. It can be incredibly lonely to be a mother at a young age, especially when society tends to marginalize or judge them. They can feel cut off from their peers who are living a different life, and the sense of being alone in their struggles can deepen the emotional burden they carry. But you know what's stronger? Support, understanding, encouragement. What young mothers need most is not judgment or pity, but a community of people who understand the weight of their challenges and are there to lift them up. No mother, young or old, should ever feel like she has to fight alone. Everyone deserves to have people in their corner who remind them that they are enough, that their efforts are valid, and that they are doing a great job. We need to build communities where young mothers are not left to navigate their struggles in silence. We need to create spaces, physically, emotionally, and digitally, where they can share their experiences, seek help when they need it, and receive the encouragement to keep going. This could be through local parenting groups, online forums, or simply a network of friends and family who offer a listening ear or a helping hand. These communities should be places where young mothers can be honest about their challenges without fear of judgment, where they can express their frustrations and fears without shame. We must create an environment where asking for help is seen as a sign of strength, not weakness, and where mental health is taken just as seriously as physical health. What these young mothers need most is to be reminded that they matter, They need to know that they are not alone in this journey and that their feelings are valid. They are not failures because they're struggling. They are human, and they are doing their best, often against tremendous odds. We all have a role to play in showing them that they are enough, that their love for their child is enough, that their desire to improve their situation is enough, and that they are worthy of support, compassion, and care. If we as a society can foster this sense of community and belonging, we can change the narrative. We can show young mothers that they are not defined by their struggles, but by their strength, and that they are not isolated, but part of a collective effort to lift each other up. By showing support, understanding, and encouragement, we can make sure that no mother, no matter how young, has to face her challenges alone. Let's build a future where every young mother feels seen, heard, and empowered. Let's remind them, loud and clear, that they are enough. Think about this. When you invest in a young mother, you're not just helping one person, you're shaping the future. Her child, the one she wakes up for every day and works tirelessly to provide for, will grow up to be the next generation of leaders, teachers, doctors, artists, and innovators. The future depends on the children we raise today, and those children are shaped by the mothers who nurture, teach, and love them. When you support a young mother, you are directly impacting the trajectory of a child's life, which in turn shapes the entire community and, by extension, the entire world. A young mother's challenges are not just hers to bear, they ripple outward, affecting the future of her family, her child, and the society around her. But when we invest in these women, we are investing in far more than just their immediate needs. We are investing in the future workforce, the future thinkers, and the future caregivers. We are ensuring that the next generation has the foundation they need to succeed. Imagine a world where young mothers are given the resources, education, and opportunities to grow and thrive. That's a world where the potential of children is unlocked earlier, where the cycle of poverty and disadvantage can be broken, and where families are empowered to create a better future for themselves. When we uplift young others, we are lifting up the next generation in a way that benefits us all. The education and opportunities we provide them today will directly impact the way their children approach life tomorrow. A mother who has access to quality education, a good job, and a supportive community is more likely to pass down those advantages to her child. It's a ripple effect. When one person rises, they bring others up with. This isn't just about one individual's success. It's about breaking barriers for entire families. When a young mother succeeds, her child benefits from a stronger role model, better opportunities, and a more stable foundation. The child learns resilience, perseverance, and the power of hard work, and those lessons are carried forward into the future. It's about creating a sustainable cycle of success, where children grow up seeing their mothers not as victims of circumstance, but as women who persevered, overcame, and built a better life. If we want a better society, a stronger economy, and a more compassionate world, we need to invest in the women who are raising the next generation. Every dollar we put into supporting young mothers is an investment in that future. Whether it's providing access to health care, affordable childcare, education, or simply offering emotional support, every effort made to help these women succeed benefits all of us. Because when we give young mothers the tools they need to build a better future, we are not just changing their lives, we are changing the trajectory of an entire generation. In the end, a mother's success is a child's success. It's a family's success, a community's success, and ultimately, a nation's success. When we choose to invest in young mothers, we are not just helping them overcome the challenges of today, we are paving the way for the leaders, innovators, and change makers of tomorrow. It's an investment that will pay off not just for years, but for generations to come. And that's a legacy worth building. So let's stop judging, let's start supporting, let's acknowledge the power, the strength, and the resilience of young mothers in this country. To every young mother out there, you are stronger than your circumstances. You are more than the labels society tries to place on you. Keep pushing, keep striving, and never let anyone tell you that you can't, because you can and you will.